Hello and welcome to No Access Required. So, it's all kicking off. Bethesda released its anniversary edition, along with other additions, to what it hoped was going to be much fanfare. People aren't happy. Now, I dare say that there are some out there who'll be, loving this, and that's fine, that's great. But it seems that many people aren't particularly happy. And this brings me on to something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is obsolescence. And what do I mean by that? My obsolescence. New iterations of these games, and new games generally, and the Halo series, with all the various criticism that's attached to that and various other media of that ilk, aren't made for me, OG gamers like me. I mean, I'm an old man now. And I'm becoming aware by degrees of my obsolescence, of my, what's the other word I'm looking for? Irrelevance. I'm becoming irrelevant. I've got the most disposable amount of cash available to me, but I'm not where it's at. So many of the games that I grew up with and continue to play over decades are being reborn as strange Frankenstein-like creatures that have modern themes attached to them. And these modern themes are, I want to use the term objectionable, but that's not quite it. For me, they're just not in keeping with the original ethos of the material as it was first released. The material that I fell in love with, effectively. And this is something I think a lot of gamers over the age of 40, I'm 60 now, are coming to terms with. They're becoming increasingly irrelevant. There are new generations of gamers being born, and much of what we see being produced now not only isn't for us, but it doesn't care about us. We are no longer a concern, and our collective voices on YouTube and various other platforms are really, as I say, irrelevant and obsolete. So, talking about obsolescence, we come to the rather thorny issue of AI. And in this case, Eurogamer has reported, and I'm aware that Eurogamer is not everybody's favourite flavour, but they reported on this game Arc Raiders, and I've mentioned this before, and how it looked like an incredibly good game. But there's some controversy attached to that in the form of AI and the actors. Now, what we have to understand is we don't know what contractual arrangements were made for the talent who worked on the game. But it seems as though some lines being spoken in the game are AI lines generated by AI for the game for certain commands like pinging things. Mudaha on is it Some Ordinary Gamers channel did a lovely little article. I suggest you go over there and have a look at it. And it does make you think to yourself, if you were an actor and you got brought into the game to do, let's say, mocap work and voiceover work, and you then get paid off and you tootle off on your merry way with your pay packet in hand, ready to buy some goodies, and then the game gets released and you find your voice is speaking lines that you didn't say. Now, I've not played the game yet. I've been, frankly, far too busy. And It's just, I've just not had time, unfortunately. And so, if this has indeed happened, then what kind of, how much do you feel as the talent, if indeed that wasn't arranged, if that wasn't made explicit to you? You've said all your lines, you go home, and now your voice is being used to speak other lines that you weren't contracted to say. This is a whole can of worms that we need to address, and companies need to address. And the only way to address this is via the contracts that the talent sign when they start work for these developing companies. And the only way that I can see that would make sense is that there's an ex gratia payment, like an extra payment of some description that covers that, or more suitably, a percentage of the royalties. Because your voice should be treated like your image, and you should get paid for that. And if they are using AI to basically, the AI has sampled your voice, so it's your voice, which is technically your property. As the DLC down the road gets released, then the voices surely are going to be used to generate potentially new commands. Isn't that you doing more work? Not physically, but they're using your property, something that you use creatively to produce what you produce as an actor or a voiceover. It would be interesting to see, or rather to hear, what Yong Ye has to say about this. Not only is he a great YouTuber, he is a voiceover artist. And so one wonders what his take might be, and hopefully he might produce something. So we're at the very outset of this AI revolution. We're literally on the precipice. And although we think we might know how this is going to affect us, we don't. Because we're finding that AI will find new ways to be of use. There's a line in the Aliens 3 movie? Where one of the characters says, "Oh my God, robots designing robots." AI finding new ways for AI to do AI shit. You either use actors, you use them for the entirety of the work, and then if you're going to sample them in any way, shape or form using AI, there needs to be a payment method, because that person, their likeness, be it their image or their voice, is being reutilized to garner more profit. And I can't think of any reason why the actor or actress involved shouldn't have part of that profit. It's unacceptable to think that just because you're using AI and you're sampling somebody, because that's effectively what's happening, you're sampling them, that you just stop paying them for their work while you continue to make money off them. And as I say, this is predicated, what I'm saying is predicated on potential new work coming out, in this case, let's call it DLC, where those actors' voices are still being used. But they're not being brought into the studio to say lines because the voice is being sampled. They have the voice recorded already from the original work that's being done. It will be very interesting to see how this plays out. On a different note, we've got the PlayStation State of Play in Japan, which I've used a still from the Destin Lagari video, Destin channel. Another great channel. Go over there and do give them a look. I wait with bated breath. And like all PSVR 2 players, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There it is. I will wait with bated breath, and hopefully they will say the one thing that I've been wanting them to say ever since I bought my PSVR 2, and that is the entirety of the PlayStation back catalogue is now available to you, the PSVR 2 customer, to play. But more about that on my other channel, VR Vertigo. So do let me know what you think in the comments below. I would be interested in what you have to say. Do like, subscribe, and share, if you can be bothered. And until next time, have yourselves a great day.